All right, here we go.
Yep, here we go.
Dogs. Sister.
All I want is to finish my toast.
Sit down. Sit down.
Sister,
Everybody
sit
sit
down.
down. Sit down. All right.
Hi, everybody.
How's it going tonight?
Y'all ignore me while I finish my toast.
Hope everybody's doing okay. And back. Get back. Back. Let's start this up all of a sudden.
The footrest come out.
Okay. All right.
Yep, something about the footrest. Larry Hart says howdy. Howdy, Mr. Larry. Janelle, hey. Yep, you know me.
Yeah. All
right, you two.
Sit down. Hey, Larry. Hey, Janelle. Yeah, we got a fight trying to break out right under our feet again.
Yep.
Get about ready to
Sisters
send all
are
the animals
grouch.
outside.
Then you gotta listen to them bark
All right.
while they try to tear down the screen door.
I'm gonna bring it a little closer.
Why?
There we go.
They don't need close up of me eating.
Well, I can actually read the chat from right here.
Hey,
Well,
Sherry.
Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Missed you the last few days. Wish you'd been where you could have come down.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we had a good time up at, hey, David, how you doing? We had a good time up at Greg's and at Coonbo's. Had a real good time this week. Some good fellowship and did have some activity. So, I hope everybody's doing okay tonight. It's been a hot one in Alabama.
Hey, David Hughes.
It's been a hot one. Hey, David. Anybody I have missed, I'm sorry. But hello. I hope I ain't missed nobody. It's been a hot one in Alabama today. It has been hot. Come in from work, took me a little beauty nap. Yeah.
Now.
Anyway, yeah. Got up about 11:30. Kind of rested in here for another probably 30 minutes drinking tea. I ain't even had
Hey,
no
Flat Rock.
coffee all day today. Hey, Flat Rock.
And you're out of coffee, too. So,
Yeah, doing okay.
105 in northeast Texas today.
Yeah. I don't know what the temperature was here today.
I don't know either, but it was hot.
I know it had to be either mid 90s or upper 90s with a humidity that was rocking. So,
Yep.
but when I stepped outside, I went to pour and sweat, which that's good for me. You know, it's good to sweat a little bit. So,
Janae, come on now.
what was
That beauty nap you took, she said, that's why you're so purty, Mark.
Oh,
And she said, purty,
yeah, I
you
know.
know, not pretty,
I know.
purty.
I know.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So it's been a hot one. I've done a little bush hogging this season, weed eating. Just doing some stuff. Kind of clouded up, like it was going to rain. Still cloudy out there now, but it's kind of going past us. And so I took advantage of that cloudy this breeze blowing. And I've been needing to weed eat around our orchard, our mini orchard. We don't have no huge one. And Lord and behold, one of the muscadine vines is full of
You don't need them glasses to take them off.
what's the glasses bothering you?
No, they're glaring. People can't see your face because you wear glasses.
They Lord and behold, is full of muscadines, and some of them's almost ripe. That's just
On the ground.
that's strange. Yeah, I got to get the wire up. I need to do that tomorrow. I need to get the wire up, be done with that, get them tied up.
Oh, you know that chicken that's on the nest in that first nest box? Has she been there for forever now?
Yeah.
She got 2 chicks under her today.
Okay.
So I need to go out there in the morning and move eggs.
Until I've been out sun today, my face is real red.
So we got 2. Janelle says muscadine jelly.
Yeah.
That's it, muscadine jelly.
I got
There
bad
ain't enough for
news.
muscadine jelly.
Yeah, they're
It's a
starting,
first year vine.
but that's pretty good to see
Mhm.
that little group on there.
I say first year, but we planted them
last spring.
Last spring or summer?
Those were last early spring.
I mean, spring or fall.
No, those were last spring.
That's what you said 3 times now.
You kept saying other names, so
I kept trying to repeat what I was trying to say, and it kept getting messed up. So,
Anyway, I hope we'll see. Was going to talk about a couple of things tonight.
Mary Hart said it's finally cooling off in Long Island. I missed that one.
Ooh, Long Island. Oh, mercy. Yeah, you up there. Yeah, and I bet y'all, but this time of year they don't get much of a breeze off the ocean either. All that concrete and asphalt probably don't help matters none.
Sherry said she missed being there too, but hopefully they'll make it in September.
Yeah, we're
Make
looking
sure
forward.
I know what days you're wanting to come to see us because I need to put off for it.
Oh, Janelle, before I forget,
There ain't no peas.
it ain't looking good about the peas.
There's no peas. The deer mowed them down.
Deer mowed them down one night this week. I had some that was fixing to get ready. Went out there and checked them
Oh,
today,
that's right. We had peas.
and they ate every one of them. I'm going to have to fence in my areas to do peas. Now I got corn fixing to come in. The Jimmy Red and the Evergreen probably will be coming in next week. Just looking at it, and so I thought about planting some late peas, and I may do that over here beside
So
the
we got
house.
plenty of room over there.
Yeah.
But they come eat through there too, though.
Not quite as bad, but he'd probably find them.
They ate a lot of them zippers last year, remember?
Well, once they found them, we got a bunch off there before they found them. Yeah, I got to put fencing up, put a hot wire around everything. That's the way we're going to slow them things down here.
Yep.
And me put a hurting on them this winter.
Definitely need to put a hurting on them.
You know, it makes me wonder something. As many deer tracks I've seen there work day, it tells me something probably ain't here right now.
I think you're right.
But we did have a neighbor have a cat go missing a few days ago. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again.
Again, that
And
makes
somebody with a dog missing now, too.
So you make what, 3 dogs and 7 or 8 cats now?
Something like that. I don't even know. I lost count.
So, yeah, it's kind of strange. We either got a coyote or a bobcat or something else popping up. I don't know. I hate to say that. But it has been quiet around here last few
It
weeks.
has.
hasn't it? So,
It has.
I don't know. Maybe it's hot weather. Got them pushed back more around the creeks and stuff.
No.
Babe,
Yes.
where's your dog?
Did they break through the thing? I can't tell.
I don't see the dog.
All
I'm
right,
gonna go
be right
check.
back.
She done figured out something.
Huh?
She done figured out something.
Get in here. Get in here. Get in here. No. Get
Lord
in
have
here.
mercy.
Get in here. We'll have to clean the kitchen.
Why we had to clean the kitchen?
We'll have to clean the kitchen. It was all over the place.
What did she get?
Garbage.
You should have got on to her about that.
How am I supposed to get out to, babe?
Rub her nose in it. That's how we used to do when they take a dump in the house, rub their nose
Yeah,
in
it's a
it.
different ball game, though. All right,
Sorry about that, y'all.
Michael Haywood. Hey there.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
You see, I can't see over there. As
There
much.
she goes. She's trying. She tried. You let me catch her in there. She'll learn real quick. I'll break her real quick with it.
I wish I could break her apart and just leave her outside. Anybody know anybody that wants a deaf German short hair pointer? She's real pretty. She's just deaf.
Anyway, sorry about that, y'all. One thing I was going to talk about tonight is what you can still plant right now. I had a guy I used to work with send me a message the other morning, want to know what he could still plant and probably gather before frost would hit. Uh, you could do beans right
Of
now.
course, it all depends on your area, so and when that first frost is.
You could probably get beans in the ground.
Now we're talking about our area, right?
Right, we're talking about our area. But anybody pretty much in the southeast can.
Well, it's that zone. If y'all got a early frost date, it ain't gonna apply to.
Yeah, I think in frost dates is pushing back though.
Yeah, but
So beans, peas, squash, cucumbers, any of those you could probably replant and make some and make them before frost or up till frost. You might could get okra in the ground and you might could get a little bit gathered before frost hit. The biggest thing about planting this time of year is, of course, heat, no water, and the bug populations at its max right now. But now me and her,
also, if you're planting some fall crops, it's too hot for them to really sprout, so you need to consider sprouting in a cooler area like a basement or inside for your air conditioning. But it is a good time to start sprouting the seeds for fall crops.
now as far as corn, it's too late. Usually you got to have corn in the ground before July. I have planted in June before, made corn. Watermelons, unless you get some that are like 60 or 70 day seed, that's to germinate and make a crop. I mean, you can get by. 'Cause they grow.
Paramedic, hello.
They would grow. Hey, paramedic. They would grow. Cantaloupes would probably make. But, you know, your corn.
Pushing it,
Huh?
pushing it.
Yeah, corn and a few other crops you would be pushing it. I don't know if you could get a second batch of tomatoes going or not.
You could buy transplants and get them going. You wouldn't have time to get them going from seed. Same for peppers. You'd have to buy transplants. I'll tell you what, something to be good to plant right now would be though, potatoes.
Yeah.
Now's a good
Not
time to
talking
get
about
your
sweet
white,
potatoes. Yeah, the white potatoes.
starch type potatoes in the ground. Your new potatoes, stuff like that. Now's a good time to put them in the ground to get a late crop before the frost hits.
If you done sweet potatoes, they
It's
probably
too late for that.
they wouldn't get big enough. They need that about 100-day growing season or a little longer.
Greg House, howdy.
Hey, Greg, how you doing, brother?
In the restaurant, finally getting some food. Speaking of a restaurant, so we went to eat with y'all the other night, right? And Mark got a piece of coconut cake to share. Yeah.
Hey.
Brought it all the way home,
Ah,
put it in the fridge. I looked at it the next morning. I thought, I'll get that tonight. I went and pulled the to-go plate out last night, and there was nothing in it. He
nice piece
done
of bread.
ate my piece of coconut cake.
Hey,
Just
I
for
thought
the
you would carry it to work. I thought you didn't want it.
And let
so-
everybody at work have it. Mm-mm.
Why do you mean everybody at work gonna get it?
You ain't never had people steal food at work.
One time in my whole
That's
life.
my point. Just in case.
Yeah,
What
well,
are they gonna steal?
well, I
They're
ain't
not gonna
say
steal
what
my
he wanted.
burrito. They gonna steal my
I know a
coconut
guy
cake.
set some people up when they were stealing stuff. Well, I think he broke it from him too, boy.
Anyway, Robert Denduven is in the house.
Hey, Robert, how you doing today?
Let's see. Dug 5 tubs of potatoes last week. Going to plant green beans there now. It's a good crop to plant now. Green beans.
Me and her planted
You'll have to
some.
fight the bugs. That's
Yeah.
the only downside.
Me and her planted a couple rows at my mother's a few years ago. We planted them in August, and which we got a little rain, so they jumped, and we actually picked green beans till frost. I went out there that night. I think it was going down in the low 30s, and it was going to be a frost. And I went and picked the rest of the beans off there, and it was like it was in November. So we was making green beans in October and November. And I'll be honest with you, those were some of the prettiest green beans I've ever had. I don't know what the deal was with it, but they were some of the prettiest green beans. And um, I don't know if it's something about the fall or they got a good start or what the deal was, but they made some pretty beans.
So Robert asked, how do russet and white potatoes do down south? The white potatoes are a big crop in central to South Michigan. So we get them in on Valentine's Day in time for them to be harvested before it's too late in summer. They do okay. We've gotten some pretty big ones from what we've grown occasionally. Now, our problem is it seems like they don't cure as well here in the South. For some reason, it's like they stay in the real thin, new potato type skin that doesn't cure as well.
Now, our sweet potatoes do well.
Oh, yeah, sweet potatoes do real well.
They do very well. There's a lot of people in the South grow white potatoes, but now I tell you who does a very good job where he's at with them, is Deep South, Danny and them. He can, he does it very well with it. And
We did very good with it.
he was down there in Zone 8 and right almost on the Gulf Coast growing white potatoes. And he's growing those German ones. I think they's purple looking, and he's growing all kind of different ones, and they all done pretty good. So he had a good luck with them. I guess that's sandy soil too, though.
Yeah, that does. Sandy soil helps. That's the downside for where we are. We have to really put some preparation in to grow any sort of root type crop because we got that clay. So we really got to look at raising up beds or totally making sure what's there is dug up and fine, basically. So last year we did the concrete bed, the raised bed, and grew potatoes in it. Did fairly well. They got planted late, so we had a lot of little ones still, but we had some that were pretty big size. This year I went to plant, but then I discovered some that were already there from the previous. They didn't freeze through winter, in other words, and they were starting to grow. Well, then I don't know what happened because none of them grew but one out of that whole bed that I thought was fixing to. I was debating on whether or not I needed to take and just wipe out what was there and replant, and I made the wrong decision. So this year we have no potatoes except sweet potatoes growing. Paramedic says okra's 4 foot high and not making spears yet. Some years it gets a foot tall and puts on. Ours is a foot tall, I think, right now.
Ours is going to be a short okra this year. My corn's pretty tall. That Jimmy Red, I've got some up there, probably 12 foot tall. I noticed the wind must have got into it some the day on the back side. They some pulled over, but I did check to look at it to make sure it wasn't coons pulling it over,
Right.
and it wasn't. There's still ears on there. And I was looking at stalks. I got some places 3 years on a stalk. That's pretty good. I don't know how big of ears they're going to be. I got a lot of them with 2 ears, so those ought to be good size ears. But looked at the watermelons today. They're looking good. I got little watermelons on. Vines look real good. I just got that mess in the middle of the row.
Morning glories yet again.
Yeah, they ain't morning glories. Those are whatever.
Oh, the passion flower.
Yeah, that's what's.
That's taking over this year.
Yeah, I might get up there and chop them down before they start blooming. Other than that, cantaloupes looking fair, and but my peas, they just the only peas I got, and they ain't made yet. My heirloom that's been in my family for 80, 90, 100 years, however long they've been in my family. It takes them a while to make. They're very, very viney pea.
Yep.
They get huge too. They're almost like a running pea. They turn yellow. They kind of one guy told me he thought the name may have been wash pot peas, and I did find a reference to wash pot peas, and it was that reference was here in Alabama. So it may be a variety that's been around for a while that people around here were passing back and forth. It's a creamy pea. That's what I always liked about it. Makes a good cream with it. Um, it just takes them a while to make it. I mean, it takes them a while, and they don't put off a lot of peas. They'll make about 2 times, and that's it. Where like Purple Hull, sometimes will make 4 times, or the top pick it'll make about 4 times, and some of the others, this one don't make about twice, which it means you don't get as many peas. It takes up a lot of land for those peas. So next year, this year we'll probably gather some of them, and then the rest I'll save for seed. And probably next year I won't plant them again. I'm gonna probably plant them every other year, or something of that nature. Next year I'll probably really, since it looks like the peas pretty much ain't gonna get much this year. Next year I will, and it ain't too late for me to plant some more peas, so I may try to do it. I may try to plant a late patch. Maybe I can keep the deer out of them. I don't know. I might put some fencing up with a hot wire on it, I guess, around where the peas are. And what else did I tell you we was going to talk about?
I know, but paramedic wants to know what you think about the Northerners talking about the darkness from the fires and the weird rains making their crops suffer.
I hadn't heard really nothing about that. So,
Ooh, cutting the corn off the cob and frying it.
oh yeah, that's always real good. Well, I knew they were getting a lot of smoke, from the fires in Canada, and I don't know about the rain unless there's a lot of ash coming down in the
I would
rain,
assume.
and that could put too much phosphorus.
Well, I'm sure it's got something to do with the acid in the rain.
Yeah. So yeah, that could be. I'll have to go research it. I'm glad you brought that up. And plus, I got some friends up north, in the Ohio basin, and I'll have to ask them how it's going on up there. I watched some of the homesteaders from up that way, like the Veggie Boys in Pennsylvania, and they have been saying something. I forgot about that. I need to go watch one of their videos. They was talking about their crops wasn't doing as well this year. I'll have to go. They're in northeast Pennsylvania, somewhere in that neck of the woods.
So the way my brain works, big tree, right?
Okay.
LSU purple's growing. It's not a loss.
I was not lost,
It's
so
not
we
a
need to go
loss.
out there, and I'm glad I didn't run over it with lawn.
Well, it's still staked and everything. So
We may have to pet that.
they
thing a
said
little
the
bit.
smoke had a chemical smell instead of wood smoke. That's what I was thinking, like the acid rain.
Or, well, I don't even need to say that. You never know. Let's see. Man.
I think that's all the comments.
Yeah, you cut corn off the cob,
I
right?
said that.
Yeah, my mom used to do that a lot, especially with the white field corn. And also, she'd put it up that way a lot of times. She'd cut it off the cob, and she'd have, back then they had them different type freezer bags. Y'all probably remember. They were shaped a little different, almost shaped like a bread sack. She'd fill them up, tie them, and stack them up. But let them cool off a little bit, and then we'd put them in the freezer. During the winter, we'd eat off that a lot. And then, but she'd fry a lot of corn off the cob. And she didn't really put up no ears of corn much. We didn't do that a whole lot. She put up a few, but not a whole lot. Usually, if she did, it was sweet corn. So, I mean, it looks like that's what we're going to have this year, mostly corn.
Watermelon.
Some watermelons, cantaloupes. And our tomatoes are not doing that great. We did pick a bunch of peppers the other
We
day.
did. The peppers are doing better than anything.
They do it pretty good.
Little short plants, but
You're-
putting on big peppers.
Those lima beans or whatever they are looking pretty good. They pretty.
Oh, is that the bush ones?
Yeah, they're looking pretty.
The vines are, or the plants are rather. There's no
They,
blooms yet.
they're kind of slow.
Yeah.
But sweet potatoes look okay over yonder. I don't know. Maybe I didn't give them enough fertilizer or something. They over there running. I don't know. I might need to go through there and give them a little more dirt to them or something. I don't know. Pumpkins just ain't. I looked out yonder. We got some pumpkins up out in the big field. They're just scattered out and about. So I don't know what went on there. I have no idea. I don't think they were planted too deep. I just something happened right there. You know, like I told you when I went to teal, the places I have teal ain't hardly growing no grass.
Right.
So there's something went on with the ground out there, you know.
Yes, too much rain and the heat can cause cantaloupes to split.
True.
Too much rain can cause them to rot faster.
I need to do like a lot of other people do, start making them put them on the trellis. And that way they ain't touching the ground and everything. I've watched several people do that. They took like the kind of like we did with the chicken pens where we bent them over.
Yeah.
They do them like that with the
And
cantaloupe.
they put the little hammocks on the fruit.
Thought about doing that before.
If
That
it
way
wasn't so
rats,
much work, I'd do it.
that way rats and stuff couldn't get to them. But that's what ticks me off about cantaloupes. Darn rats will get in there and gnaw a little old hole in it. You won't even know it till you pick it up. Aggravating sometimes. And I love cantaloupe. I tell you, during summertime, I could eat one every day, especially a good cantaloupe.
Absolutely.
I know the last few I bought hadn't been worth a flip. I mean, they were flat as a pancake. I mean, they just had no flavor to them. I don't know, just
Yep, Janelle, we got that covered.
what's that?
Using old grass to support it.
Yeah, you can do that.
It's already got a melon holder. I mean, built in.
Probably go out there and hang up hanging pots, and just set them over in it. They probably do okay. But once they start to put it on, just kind of move it over where to go into the bucket or into the pot. Make sure it drains well. So I don't know. There was something else I meant, I told you was gonna talk about.
I just don't remember.
I know we was gonna talk about what you could plant. And there's one other thing. Oh, here's a good one that Deep South talked about this week. And something to really think about is, and this does with food prepping, and that would either if you grow in a garden or if you're buying at the store, whatever which way you're going, is do you think you have enough food in your house for a year? Because he kept getting a lot of questions about it, so he kind of went in on it. Because people were asking him why he was canning
So much.
300, 350 cans of green beans. And he said, well, if you stop, think about it, if you ate green beans once a week,
2 weeks a year.
or a couple of times a week a year, you don't need them all up. And number two, what if the next year you don't have a good crop, either because of weather or something, and that's why he was
And
trying
don't
to tell
forget,
people.
You might have company for dinner.
So I think a lot of people don't really stop and think about how much food we really go through. And how big of a garden do you really need to supply you and your family for a year? A lot of it's according to how many people's in your household and according to how much stuff you eat. But there's something to really think about is sit down and really, what would I eat? How much of it do I need to put up? And
Definitely don't advertise it. Forever.
Yeah, don't advertise it. But that's something to really think about because there are some things going on with the food. Of course, I don't know if y'all knew it or not. They passed that law a couple of weeks ago when the submarine thing was going on about being able to make lab meat. I don't know if y'all knew that or not.
Oh, that passed.
That passed. It's
Did
real
not know
convenient that the submarine thing was going on during that whole time. If y'all ain't never noticed, I'll go ahead and say it.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
I
there's
don't
always
care.
a distraction from what's
I
really
don't
going
care
on.
because we're always being deceived. You know who's
Misty just got home for a few minutes, still unpacking. Glad to get to see you, Mark and Rebecca.
good to see you too, Mister. We had a very good time. Glad you made it home safe. And look forward to seeing you again. And look forward to aggravating Spencer some more. But
But yeah, there's always a distraction anytime important stuff is happening.
Yeah.
You won't hear about that.
and news didn't hardly talk about it because I went and started looking for it because I heard it on another YouTube channel.
Did they say anything about how the labeling's going to be on it? Is it going to say cloned meat?
I don't know how it's,
Because isn't that what it is?
I haven't got to look at the law to see what the
Isn't
law
that what it is? Cloned meat?
Yeah, they grow it in the lab.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's cloned.
So
Because you know they have genetically modified hogs now too. I mean, actually gone into the genetics of the hog and played with it to where it grows differently.
and I'll go ahead and tell you now, most of the stuff in the grocery stores you're getting has got GMOs in it somewhere. Even the feed you're buying from the
The
feed
Suds
store.
thing, you know, the thing that blew up in the ocean with all the billionaires on it.
Most of the stuff you're buying in the store has got GMOs in it. If you can find you a farmer or a homesteader close to you that's raising cattle or goat chickens, yeah, you're going to pay a little more for it, but you might not be getting something that's got GMO in it. But the problem is we got to watch our feed too, because all this feed and these feed companies, they're buying farmers that's planting 700-800 acres of GMO corn,
Yep.
or soybeans, or wheat.
You almost can't get away from it. Almost.
Yeah, I know it's almost pitiful. The only way you can really get away from it is really just start growing everything you need for your farm.
Because our chickens are not fed a non-GMO.
Yeah, I know.
The rabbits aren't.
Well, they done made alfalfa GMO too. You have to watch that now.
Yeah, the bag says non-GMO.
And I don't know if a lot of people know this, and I've probably brought this up before. I don't know how much most of y'all know about big farming. How they gather wheat and oats is they go spray it with Roundup.
Yep.
And let it sit for a week or two. And they do that.
Defoliation that they talk about.
They do that where all of it's ready at one time. And so, I mean, that's all I'm going to say. Yeah. But something to really think about. Like Rebecca's right. It's almost impossible unless you completely eat off your property, every day of the year, and you have your own meat, or you've got a neighbor that you can buy meat from, or you're hunting. And let me go ahead and tell you about the hunting. I'll go ahead and say this. We got some deer diseases going on, and it's kind of weird. They all of a sudden started popping up here in the South. There for a long time. There for a long time, we were avoiding some of these diseases, and all of a sudden they popped up. Now I understand that some hunters were bringing their stuff back to Alabama and some of these other states. That probably helped start it, but I don't know. It's just weird. It's just strange how all of a sudden that popped up. Our turkey population in Alabama is decreasing for some reason. They're doing some studies on it, and they've come up with a few things, but it makes me wonder.
I can come up with one.
What?
Coryza. Everybody's backyard chicken pox
Good
and
possibility.
all of its diseases that people just throw antibiotics at.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Very good possibility. Who we got join the chat since missed it? Anybody?
Nobody.
Okay.
They've been talking with themselves. Paramedic said, what sub thing, the Hunt for Red October? That's why I said no, the one with all the billionaires on it. Janelle says, what the heck? Or she said, well, heck, that's just real nice to know. Sarcasm. Everybody's, she also said, grow your own. So
And it's hard. I'll be honest with you. It is hard to grow everything you
very
need.
hard.
It is very, very hard to do what you need to get to what you need to have. So it's almost like we're locked into a system that's hard to get out of, and it is. They got us financially. They're gonna have us on food. You can control people with food. You really think about it, you can control. If you go back and look in the Bible, every time they had a big famine in the Bible, boy, there's one country really in the whole earth at that time because they're the ones that had the food. I mean, whoever's got the food is in control.
That's right.
And so always remember that. But sit down if you get a chance one day when I know all of us are busy with life and working jobs and kids and grandkids and just, this fast-paced world we live in now. But really stop and think about how much food you would need to store for a year for you and your family and what y'all eat. And which I know this, you get to where you're hungry, pretty hungry, you'll eat about anything within reason. But really think about it, what it would take to, I'm not saying go do it, I'm just saying really think about it, what it would take for you to be able to live for a year if the grocery stores disappeared, or if you went and, stocked up for a year from the grocery store. We know they ain't but a 3-day supply in most grocery stores, so if something was to happen with transportation or EMP, anything of that nature, natural disaster, hurricane come through, or any of those type of things, earthquake or something, most grocery stores capacity is for 3 days, and in some areas it probably wouldn't be that much, probably like 1 day or 2 days. So it's something to think about. I would always recommend at least having at least 2 or 3 months worth of food in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Just we're fixing to get into hurricane season for our neck of the woods. Usually it starts firing up July, August, September. There's one gonna come up in the Gulf. It usually is. There'll be one rolled up in here,
Yes.
and hit any of us. I've seen them when they come through, even though we're 200 something miles inland. I've seen them do a lot of damage right around where I live at before. They come in here with them high winds, tornadoes,
Yep.
Downpours, flooding, knock power off. Those trees hit power lines. They even though we're this far inland, they can still get rough.
Yep. Well, let me read you your comments.
Okay.
So Misty said she heard Bushcraft family talking yesterday about there was going to be a fruit shortage. Said they were finding hepatitis A in the fruit. I have not heard about that. I know there's going to be a fruit shortage this year, but it's because of all the freezes that we had. I have not heard anything about hepatitis in the fruit yet.
Who was that? She said that?
Bushcraft family.
I have to go watch it and see.
Yeah, and then paramedic said that's why Jimmy's buying up all the farmland.
Yeah.
Control. You didn't listen to the whole thing yet, getting ready, and just had it playing like in the background.
I'll have to go check that out.
Janelle said, Our MILITARY was handed over to NATO.
What?
Our military was handed over to NATO.
Oh, was it?
She spelled it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Um,
Y'all know that, I'll go ahead and just say it. I ain't worried about it. That some of our national forests have been handed over to the Chinese. Have y'all heard that? There's a lot of money in that
David
national
Hughes.
forest and timber.
Total control. Let me get it. Total control grid. Everything is digital, including bank accounts, electric meters, and gas meters. That's Fresh. Finally made it back to the show. Hi,
Fresh.
glad to see you.
Good
We
to
were
see you,
just
man.
asking about you the other day.
Y'all thought the elites done got a hold of it.
Paramedics said, look how many farmers couldn't make it during the Depression. Killed almost every deer in Oklahoma in 5 years. Yep. Let's see.
Yeah, don't think that you're going to survive off wild game.
Mark looks 10 years younger. What happened?
Huh?
Could that be the why?
And I ain't got a beard right now either.
Yeah, he kind of shaved everything up. So that could be it. And then, let's see.
I have lost a little weight, but it's slowly coming off.
Been on a laughing spree. Took years off. That's it. Yep. That's it exactly. That little laughing spree at the, yep, at Spencer's expense, of course.
I'll
Power
tell you,
was
I hurt
knocked
for a
out
little while
for 2
after that.
days in Tulsa, Oklahoma. City folk emptied every gas station for 100 miles around after that. Wow. Fresh says it's going to get real bad soon. Yeah, it's going to get real bad. And as I say, the mechanics are tightening their nuts. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. They called you a bald eagle too, so.
Yeah, most of my old hair done fell out.
So,
Got
yeah.
more hair on my back and chest than I do on my head.
So yeah, he cleaned up a little bit. Ready to die for my humor. That's it.
Now it's
So you caught up on comments now, babe?
there's a lot of things going on,
A
a
lot.
lot of deception. A lot, like she's saying, a lot of times when they have these big news articles, they put a lot of time on it. And you won't hear about nothing. And go research stuff. If you hear somebody say that they heard this, I'm not saying they're telling or not speaking right. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying, go research it. Read it on your own too.
Yeah, on her too.
Not saying somebody's told something wrong. I'm just saying go check it out.
Mhm.
Just like if I tell you something, go check it out.
Yeah.
Don't rely on my word 100%.
And just because I said I've never heard of hepatitis A in the fruit, don't mean that it's not happening. I do know that, a lot of crops got hurt with the freeze that we had this past winter and those late frosts that happened as well. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know nothing about the hepatitis A thing, but I'm not saying it's not true. But we are going to have a fruit shortage. Definitely, fruit shortage will be happening. And one of the reasons for true is freeze and frosts. So, how are crops looking this year? Well, they not.
Looks like about the only thing we're going to really make is corn.
We'll have some figs at his mama's tree, but 4 trees at our house, not a single one has a fig on it.
Pawpaws are starting to turn yellow,
Pawpaws are turning, yay.
so I need to really watch them the next few days. Tomorrow I'll check
A
them
lot
out.
of weather warfare. Yeah, there's something definitely going on with the soil. I don't know if it's weather warfare
Well-
or not, but it could be.
Something I was listening to the other day that a lot of more of the gamma rays are hitting the earth right now from the sun, causing some of the crops not to do as well. That's something else to go research. And the thing about it, you can't just go to the internet and type that in. You've got to go find the people that really know about what's going on with it. And, so
You can find information for all sides of any subject on the internet, and both sides telling you what they want you to think and both sides be as convincing as everything.
Right.
Very hard to find reliable information.
It is. Let's see. I'm sitting here thinking. Well, let's talk about North Alabama for a few minutes.
What's in North Alabama?
Greg and Kumbo.
Oh, and my no coconut cake.
Yeah, I don't know. You need to tell Misty about that.
She probably heard it when I was talking to Greg about my missing coconut cake.
So me and Rebecca, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yes, send it fresh. Send it.
went up and visited with Greg and Misty and Spencer and Mr. Mark Newell. And then
Hang on a
Wednesday,
second. Fresh, if you don't know Mark's email, it is mgreen35151 @gmail. Send it.
so we went up Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon, hung out with Misty and Spencer, Mr. Mark, Greg, and Greg's wife Wanda and their daughter. We hung out for a little while in Greg's man cave. And, that afternoon when we got there, we went riding a little bit in some of his property, and we had a very good time, some good fellowship. Then went back Wednesday, and we all loaded up, went visited Kumbo.
So I'm going to interrupt you because apparently Misty did not hear about the cake. She
Okay.
said, I didn't hear about the cake, but I know you had some left. See, there's a witness. I had some left. It got put in the fridge. It did, for me to have the next day. I went and pulled the to-go plate out of the fridge and no cake.
Hey, I thought
A
you
piece
didn't
of
want-
bread was all that was in there.
You know I love coconut
He
cake.
just stuffed an empty to-go cup back in the
No,
fridge.
it wasn't have a piece of bread in it.
Had a piece of bread in it.
Well, you should have carried it with you to work. that
That's
day.
the word, Miss. That's the word, Fresh. That's the word. I'm not going to repeat that word, but that's the word. It starts with a D.
I can't resist coconut cake. I'm sorry. Coconut pies, coconut cakes. I can't. That's why I shouldn't even ordered it the other night. But anyway.
Yeah. He said, if I order a piece, you going to split it with me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going
I
to
thought
split
you
it with you.
They know you was gonna wait 2 days to eat it.
One day. One day. Exactly. It was coconut. That was the problem.
Yeah.
He couldn't resist.
If it'd been something else, I wouldn't have touched it as fast. But, I don't know, red velvet and Dutch
Now
chocolate.
you can keep the red velvet, but the German chocolate, don't touch the German chocolate. That's mine.
Anyway,
Yeah, smart, not a booger, although that's just as bad. I mean, they almost one and the same, but yeah, no, it was Mark.
so Wednesday we went over and visited Kumbo. We went out to eat, went over on his property, and had some interesting things happen. I know Misty, Mr. Mark, and Greg, and Kumbo was on last night on Sawdust TV for a little while. Sawdust Beast TV. And this Sunday, Spencer, I think, is going to go over a lot of the stuff that went on, why everybody was there. He did catch some thermal of something, so I'm assuming he's going to have that ready for Sunday. So y'all come tune in Sunday. It'll be Sunday, 2:30 Eastern, 1:30
I got the
Central.
milk.
Huh?
I was answering somebody's comment.
So y'all come join in
Hey, Bobby.
and listen. Hey, Bobby, how you doing?
Bobby Younts has joined us.
Good to see you again. I'm glad you came on. I'm glad everybody come on tonight. We really appreciate our subscribers, and we love y'all, and we always proud to see all of you come on and talking and just having a good time, because that's what it's about. I keep telling everybody, if nothing else comes out of the homesteading or the Bigfoot stuff, the one thing we have made new friends that I consider family, and you can't beat that, especially in this day and this time. I mean, some people, I hate to say it, even act better than your own family does, and that's sad to say. Um, but it's good, and especially good when we all live in different areas of the country or the world, that we can communicate and talk about different things, discuss whatever we want to discuss like adults, and not be rude or downgrade somebody. If we don't agree, we're still friends, no matter if we agree or not, because we all should be able to do that. And y'all know I preach that a good bit about getting along, love one another, and be kind, and don't be judgmental. And I try to be that way myself. I'm not just preaching to the choir. I try to do it myself. I know sometimes I probably fail because I am human, and but overall, if, that's something we all should be striving for. Uh, Even though a lot of this is just to tell the truth, what's out there, tell you the truth about homesteading, what's happening in that world, and then tell you the truth about what's happening in the other realm of Bigfoot and paranormal and UFOs and the Bible and what all's going on. And let me bring up something real quick while I'm thinking about it. I've been knowing about this for a while, but it's kind of like the other part. I kind of keep my mouth shut because I don't want to stir up my hornet's nest. So far, I hadn't stirred up one. I'm glad everybody's been kind of real enthusiastic about it. I'm gonna bring up this is something that I'm not saying I totally agree with, because there may have been 2 floods. I don't know if y'all know that or not. Some people even say 3. You had Noah's flood, but also there may have been a flood before Adam was created. And there's some people, like I've told y'all, there's some scholars out there that are very, very strong Christian men that are really studying the Bible. They're studying the Hebrew text, and they're catching stuff. They're really catching stuff. There's just different parts of the Bible that goes in and pretty much explains it. Some of this stuff just blows my mind about it. There are some of the scholars, theologians, whatever you want to call them, preachers, say there may have been a different type creation before man was created, and God wiped it out with a flood. And one of their key things about that is when God, right in the first of Genesis, he says, "Oh, what's wrong?"
Just keep going.
He says water was all over the earth. If y'all remember that, water was all on the earth and without void. In other words, there wasn't no shade, it was just covered with water. And
he didn't create the land, he separated
land. Also, they go back about Lucifer. One of the other reasons he was kicked out of heaven because of being a thief, because of his trading with the nations. Now, wait a minute. Trading with the nations? And God threw him to the earth where all the kings could look at him? Think about that a minute. In the last few years, my eyes have really been open and to key things that you need to look at. It's just like when it said God created the heavens and the earth. He didn't say God created heaven and earth, the heavens and earth. Never thought about it that way. If you go back to Hebrew, it is wrote in plural, heavens. There's some pretty interesting things, and there's some people putting some time and effort into this. So y'all be listening out for that. later on, I'll probably talk about it deeper as I understand it more. Um, and, you know, just kind of like the same thing with the Nephilim and with all that went on, which was after the creation of Adam when the Nephilim appeared. Uh, and we know that there was a bunch of different tribes of Nephilim. And the Bible speaks about them all the way down through to David. David, killed Goliath and killed his sons, and they were leaders of different tribes. And there was a bunch of them. You had the long necks and all these different groups out there that Israel fought all the time. And down through the Bible, it's mentioned over and over again. And even Jesus refers to it several times in a roundabout way. So y'all just, be open-minded about that. I know that shakes a lot of Christians up because that ain't what the Bible says. Yes, it is what the Bible says. You've got to really read that Bible and read it what it's saying. It will blow your mind when you start reading it and really understanding what it's saying. Like I said, a lot of pastors and preachers don't preach on this. No, it doesn't mess your salvation up. It doesn't cause faith to go downhill. If anything, it ought to make your faith stronger. And it ought to explain some things to us. So something to keep thinking about that I will keep mentioning here and there. Along with the Bigfoot stuff, which is somehow tied into it. I heard a very good.
Can I interrupt you and read
Yes,
comments
go
real
ahead.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I was waiting for the breaking point. So when I started laughing, it's because I was reading comments. And Misty said, Greg asked her if she had her booger rock riding on the skinny pedal. So, yeah. It's riding on the skinny pedal. Yeah. Anyway, so.
That's pretty cool.
That
Kumbo
let's see.
gave him them rocks. You got you some rocks too.
I did. There's some on the floorboard of the car. Fresh said it's the one covered up is the mud flood. Not sure. Research this. All had to do with the firmament. David Hughes said that. Pyromedic said if we see Raptor Crazy again, it's best just to ban him. That he went on a show last night after the last one and bragged about trying to break up some storytelling, and he prides himself on getting banned and drawing attention.
Now what happened?
One of the commenters probably about making bad comments on people's stuff. Raptor Crazy, best to just ban him, block him from the channel
Oh,
because he prides himself on that.
where was this at last night?
One of the shows.
Well, I was listening to on the way to work, so I couldn't see it. And let me tell y'all, a lot of times for a lot of shows.
Mark's show last night.
Oh, okay.
And then Flat Rock made it in. I don't
Yeah,
know if we said that or not.
He was there earlier.
Okay, so Misty just said, hey, Flat Rock. So, and then, let's see. Mark, can you subscribe to the belief that we lived in a closed system?
What now? That might be right.
Fresh asked, Mark, are you subscribed to the belief that we live in a closed system?
Well, thank you. All right. Oh, going back about talking about people being downgraded, I'll say this on that real quick. The last video that I put out, which was last week about Talladega National Forest, there's some guy, I can't even remember his name, how it goes or whatever, but you know, his first thing was Bigfoot with a question mark, really with a question mark. What are you smoking with a question mark? And I'm going to tell you how I usually refer back to people wanting to do that. I usually say thank you for watching and keep going. Uh, I did comment back to him a little more. I told him, I said, if I don't smoke anything, first of all, and thank you for watching. And at any time you would like to go experience this, I typically probably shouldn't do that, but it's almost my way of calling somebody out, which is probably wrong. But you know, if he would like to go experience something, I can carry him to a couple of spots that he'll probably be ready to load up and get in the truck after a few minutes. Just like other night when we was at Coonbo's, uh, there was some stuff going on that was strange. Uh, There's one thing Coonbo forgot to bring up, and I'll mention it, and I hope I don't. Maybe I hope you know I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't do that right now. Maybe I should just wait and save it for Sunday. But me and Coonbo seen movement, and about that time, Sister got real nervous acting, and this was when Rebecca and Misty had walked away from the truck down the hill. This was in the daylight hours, and they heard something. After I seen, me and Coonbo seen the movement, it seemed pretty big. I called out to her and Misty to make sure where they was at, and they answered me back. But
But we heard something before that,
yeah,
and
so
I thought was Mark, and it wasn't.
yeah, so that's when Coonbo said, he said, check and see where them girls are.
They don't fresh. They don't want to go in the woods. They never do.
Yeah, I mean, I may be wrong by saying that. It may be something I shouldn't really do, but that's how I've done in the past. I've had some take me up on it.
Misty said a-holes deserve being called out, just like Spencer. And he's not even here to defend himself.
Oh, but you know, Spencer called me yesterday worried about that.
Worried that he had offended him.
I said, you have not offended me. I said, man, it takes a lot to offend me.
We got the best laugh ever.
I tell you, I heard I couldn't hardly breathe for a few minutes. I done got, y'all would just have to been there to see. And I'm not going to bring it up right now because Spencer might bring it up Sunday, and I'll leave it be right now. But and two, I'll start getting tickled again. I'll start laughing again. But,
Yes, Misty, yes.
but yeah, he called. I said, man, I said, brother, I said, you ain't offended me. I said, man, it takes a lot to offend me. I said, you have to really get just downgrading ugly. I mean, downgrading ugly, you know, for me to,
Yes, we still going with him.
well, this is Tim Coonbo Becker.
Uh-oh.
I'll call it back just a minute.
Yeah.
But, I know we ain't got much longer on,
No, it's already 8:04.
so I'll call it back just a minute. Let's see. We didn't put a video out this week. I didn't really do no videoing up at Greg's Coonbo, like I told y'all before. Sometimes I hate to whoop out the camera. And sometimes to me too, that takes away from my fellowship with people.
Always.
And so I try to be careful. Now, if I'm one-on-one with somebody, I might come over whooping the camera out and sitting down talking. Plus, we were on private property, and I tried not to, and not say, you know, I took some pictures, but and I got a good picture of everybody that we need to probably put on our YouTube pretty soon somehow.
Yeah.
But you know, unless somebody really wanted me to do some filming, and I knew Mr. Mark was, and I didn't want to interfere with his filming, and you know, that's just where I am. You know, now if it was a big meet up and greet, you know, that type of stuff, I'll do some filming. It's just like when I went to Daniel Boone, I didn't whoop out that camera too much. A lot of people don't always want to be on camera. You know, they come to fellowship and they come to enjoy themselves. they don't want somebody thrusting a camera in their face all the time. So that's one reason I didn't do much filming up there. Just because, to be respectful. That's just the way I feel. Not saying that somebody else done it, but that's fine. I'm just saying that's the way I feel sometimes. Because I'll be honest with you, I could live without the YouTube. It wouldn't kill me if we wasn't doing videos. So, but I enjoy everybody, so I'm not saying that. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. So before I get tongue
Okay,
tied.
so back to the comments, right? So yes, we're still talking about Spencer in the comments.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Poor old Spencer.
So Misty put on here, giving the bird and point at it like we did in the text. Yeah. And then she said he was afraid you were still going to whoop him. Janelle said, Mark is huge. No way I'd want to offend him. So Fresh said, so Spencer's treading on eggshells, hiding from his own shadow, which of course got everybody to laughing.
All right, yeah.
Flat Rock says, I'd invite any of these people here for a week during certain months, put their behinds in a tent 100 yards from the front door. Bet they don't last the night. Probably not at your place.
No, Flat Rock, you.
And then
Ooh,
Misty said, I think that if Mark had gotten out of the car and pretended to have been mad, we would have seen Spencer soil himself.
He ain't that bad.
Instead, I got out of the car and went over there to him. I was laughing when he opened the door. But if you had went over there, it might would have. Yeah.
I
Let's
ain't
see.
gonna do him that bad now.
God's hand made it in the house. Hi, Keith.
Hey, Mr. Bale, how you doing?
Let's see.
Y'all go
Fresh
check out
is
Mr.
cool
Bale's
on-
page.
Fresh is cool on camera.
Huh?
Fresh is cool on camera, said Janelle.
Y'all go check out Mr. Bale's page. He got another
Crapped
good
in his socks.
photograph of the day that he has on his page. He got down at Hedge Creek again. It's definitely something there. I think he said 200 feet away when he took that picture. But there's definitely something in that picture. It's kind of like that other picture he got down there of that figure standing up behind that pine tree back about a month ago when he was there. So y'all go check out his page. And of course, go check out Flat Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Bama BF. She's always got some pretty good pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Some of hers is very good. Some of that dog man stuff she's taking pictures of. Ooh, I don't know if I want to fool around down there in her neck of the woods.
What's the page name again?
Which one?
Janelle, which one? Who have you mentioned page names?
Well, you
for?
got Mr. Keith Bale on Facebook. Now he has his own page, and he put some of his pictures on there. He has some good stuff.
Kyle wants to do a live tomorrow night.
Huh?
Fresh talking to
Okay.
Janelle. Kyle wants to do a live
Yeah,
tomorrow night.
I'm not catch Kyle again. Every time I get on YouTube, he's already done had a live, and it's back to I still watch it, but it ain't live no more. It's supposed to be recorded, and man, I can't keep up with Kyle anymore. He's I don't know when he's coming on all the time. He was doing those morning lives where he'd get up every morning and walk his dog and do a little talking. That's about the time I was getting off work, so I was able to interact a little bit, even though I was driving down the road. But I
Yeah,
at
Bama
least
BF is another one.
yeah, Bama BF. Miss Bama BF. She's down there in South Alabama, not far from Flat Rock. She goes somewhere walking a lot. I think it's a state park or something here in Alabama, and I'm not going to give away her area. I think I know where it's at. But, if she wants to give it away, she can do that on her channel. But she has a YouTube too. But she's an older lady. And she's seen these boogers enough. She's done named them some. But she'll tell you real quick, like she don't like them dog men things. But she says they're standing there a lot of times with Bigfoot. I've heard that before. So, and some of her pictures, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go down there fooling around that lake, but y'all go check her stuff out. Of course, uh, Misty and her family, Sherry, Donna, all those have a Facebook called SAS. Y'all go, go over there and her page.
It was
SAS.
Southern Appalachian Sasquatch Seekers.
Yeah, SAS.
Yeah, but you gotta spell it out.
Why not? Well, I'm sorry. But,
Because you
And if
can't
y'all
put in
up there-
SAS and find it.
if y'all up there in Misty's neck of the woods, and y'all hear stuff going on, let her know. Because her and Sherry will get out. They'll try to go check it out. In fact, I've got a good friend that's done moved up there close to them, and I need to let him know about that. That way, if he comes across anything, he can let Misty and him know about it.
Yep.
Because he's moved up there, and he likes to hike and kayak and fly fish and all that. So I know he's going to be in the woods, and he already knows all about the boogers. He knows all about them. So he just don't want to research them no more, and that's his prerogative. I kind of understand why he's not. That's fine with me. So, Lori and Lauren were on Chris Reinhardt this week. I got to listen to that. I think I listened to that at night on the way back while you were sleeping.
I caught some of it.
Yeah, so it's good to see Lori back on video. She gets down there in Texas and stays head out a lot.
Mhm.
But then I think her and Lauren had a question and answers Wednesday night, I think, but I ain't got to go watch it. So, it was about me and Rebecca didn't get home to 4 a.m. Thursday morning, I think it was. And time we got in the house and got everything unloaded,
And I was up at 6.
so, and I was wore flap out too Thursday, so I slept a good bit. More than I should have, really. And then last night at work, we had a pretty busy night, so I was tired when I came home this morning. So, but that's some people to go check out. Of course, the YouTube channels. Spencer and Misty with Woodwalkers, Mark and Larry with Sawdust Beast and Beast of the Woods, or Beast TV, and Chris with Discover Sasquatch. In fact, Chris got out this past week, got up in the mountains
He
for a while,
did.
so I'm glad to
He
see
did.
Chris out and about. Kyle, like I said, I've been missing some of his stuff. And Hellbent Holler is checking out some stuff in South Carolina. They finally found them a Bigfoot area in South Carolina. And she was right about something that you don't hear much about Bigfoot in South Carolina. And I'd even heard Coonbo say that's one state that he has never researched. One reason, because you don't hear nothing from that state. But I think some people have been watching their shows from that area, started telling them about some areas to go check out, and they found some stuff. I think they found some footprints. I watched them walk by a ton of tree bows and stuff, and they never even looked at them. I was like, my Lord, you're walking by all kind of stuff that you need to at least check out. I mean, there was a bunch of bows and there in one area, and I did comment and say, hey, you need to go back and check it. I know one thing they did do, they did get them pair of snake boots. They're going to run around the woods where they're at. I mean, I know that place is full of timber rattlers and cotton. Well, probably no cottonmouths right there, but I bet there's some copperheads. So, anyway, I guess we need to be getting ready to get off here.
Yeah, probably so.
Well, at least I ain't got to go to work.
Thank goodness.
Usually we had to get off because we hadn't had to work.
Yeah, we really are. Let's see. 3 great prints on one outing. Where? Let's see. Fresh. I got given a document more. A study done on my experience. Paradigm interdimensional time slip. Ooh.
Fresh has experienced some stuff.
I need to catch up on what Fresh is experiencing. You're gonna come on Sunday, Mark?
Uh,
Misty wants to know if you're coming on Sunday.
Yeah, Spencer doesn't talk to me today. Yeah, I'll be
Becca
on.
too, if she doesn't have to work. Becca has to work.
Yeah, no, unless you go in and tell him you need to get off.
I get off at 4. I get off at 4. Oh, wait a minute. I may not. That's Saturday. I don't know what time I get off. Now I gotta find out.
Well, as I'm saying, they ought to.
What time does the live start?
1:30 our time in
Oh.
Central. Well,
Yeah, I won't be off that early. Because next week they didn't schedule me but 31 hours. So if I get off, it drops my full-time status. So,
I don't,
but a lot of things are changing with my job too. I just don't know where it's going yet. We got some information today that I'm not going to put on here. How do houses just disappear and reappear in the same place, for example? Wow.
what was
Seen by quite a few different people over the ages. Wow. That's fresh. I need to catch up on what she's experienced. I mean, he's experienced. Fresh to eat, right?
Yeah, honey.
Don't get offended, please.
You done somebody else that time.
I think it was fresh.
I was another person.
Oh,
Oh, but,
I can't keep up. That's my excuse.
I know
just can't
you're
keep
not
up.
on here enough to get yeah.
Thought it was very rare what we experienced, but no, that's not rare. Covered up.
Fresh has been on with Kyle a few times. He's experienced a lot of stuff.
I need to go back and watch some of that. You might need to send me some of that. You might need to send me some of that.
I'll go back and see if I can find it. And I don't know if have you been on anybody else's channel, Fresh? Oh, I don't know if he has or not. If he has, I can't remember seeing him nowhere else. But I knew he was on Kyle's.
I said no, just Kyle's. I have to go through Kyle's channel and see if I can find some of that because I'd love to hear about all that. I don't get to watch the videos as much. I'm usually at work or trying to sell jewelry or trying to make jewelry or trying to take care of the farm and the plants and the stuff. And so I don't get to watch as much as I want.
All righty, anything else you
Strictly
want?
under contract to encrypted connections. The ship in the Philadelphia experiment is supposed to show back up this week. What?
I haven't heard that.
What do I make? I make jewelry. I do macrame. I used to do a lot of baking and cake decorating, sublimation cups,
Yeah, we got to get back to making some cups.
ornaments. I can do t-shirts. I just don't like it.
But I think what we're going to do on T-shirts, if people want some down the
Yeah.
road.
I like to do special order stuff more than have lots of stock. Like I
Right.
made t-shirts for Misty and Spencer.
You made us a few with
I
our
made
name.
us a few, but I like the design side of it more than I do the actual making of the product.
I
Same
think
for the-
if we ever do start doing shirts or caps, we'll probably get a company to do it, like Spencer was telling me.
And I'll just design it.
We'll design it, and then when somebody orders something.
I mean, I've got the stuff. I can do it. I
Yeah,
just
but-
don't want to stock a bunch of stock.
I know, well, you have
So-
to buy a bunch of different shirts
And that's what I don't want to do.
when they already have it. And we'll probably
If
do that.
we ever do a t-shirt type thing, it'll be special order and I'll only make what's ordered.
But we do need to make some more cups. So
Yeah, we do. We do.
We do.
Misty, you need to put a picture of your shirt on your page one day for everybody to see.
Yeah. Yes,
I really
really
oughta-
on the other day.
And I ought to get Spencer to show theirs. His.
I think he did. one
Anything
day.
that you could manufacture out of metal that you can think of.
You make some of those necklaces out of metal.
Yeah.
be rocking metal.
Hmm.
You'll have to maybe next Friday, have some of it in here that you can show.
Yeah, I should. I do
In
the
fact, that's why you was
sublimation.
picking up the rocks the other day.
The sublimation, if I put that coating on it, I can print whatever I want on it. It's not like the vinyl stuff. It's actually ink that laser cutting. Oh, cool. I will let you know. Because that's what I really need to do is get us a sign made for the farm.
Yeah, we got to get our sign up. I would like one day to get us some caps and stuff
Yep.
going. Maybe some
Because
future.
he works for a laser cutting place. Have you seen where they've done the laser cutting designs in different like signs and things like that?
Greg's friend works in a place like that too. One where you cut out all the Sasquatch.
Oh, that's
stuff.
right. That's right.
Well, has anybody got any questions before we get off here? I don't know where everybody. I don't know if everybody. I hope everybody's still on here. I know. Anybody's got any questions that I can answer?
Laser cut stuff is awesome. Saw one another channel is supposedly blown up after as to end people looking into it, but it reappears every so many years. Like it, oh wow, like it's in a time warp. The Philadelphia thing.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
That's cool.
I've heard that before.
I wonder if this shirt makes me look fat, but I already know the answer. I ain't answering that.
I'm glad everybody showed up
Yep.
tonight.
Except Spencer.
Well, I imagine Spencer's probably trying to spend some time with his family.
Yeah, especially after he's been gone for so long, probably.
He probably had to take care of them pet deer he's got.
Oh yeah, the pet deer. Well, let's finish wrapping it up and head off of here so I can go to bed early.
Yeah, I need to call Kumbo back.
Yeah, you do.
I hate to. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good weekend and be safe and don't get too hot if you're outside. Drink plenty of water. Tomorrow I'm gonna be pushing
And
off.
don't just drink water, drink electrolytes. Because I saw something the other day about somebody had drank like 4 bottles of water back to back to back, and they actually got water toxicity or something from so much water at one time with no electrolytes and stuff like that in it.
Yeah.
So
'Cause the water
don't
will flush
just
you out.
Drink water. Drink the hydrating drinks. Propels, Gatorades, anything with electrolytes in it. If it's designed to hydrate you, drink that.
Along with the water.
Right, we'll mix it in water or whatever.
Yeah, I've got to do some bush hogging and more
H23.
weed eating tomorrow. Try to weed eat around the ponds a little more. Let my ponds kind of go. I got to get back on this because I got to get ready to start fishing. Since me and Bubba about wiped out the turtle population.
Yep.
We still got a few. I need to ease out there and pop them. But
Let them reproduce.
we put a hurting on them. Ain't no doubt about
I'm
that.
glad.
But I still got a cottonmouth out there somewhere. I got to find him, kill him one day. And he will. He'll goof up, lay up on the bank, and I'll see him. I'll bet.
Black Rock said tell Kumbo hello.
I sure will, Kumbo. Well, I know Spencer's talking. I think him and Missy was talking about doing a meet and greet sometime this fall. I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but I know they were talking about it. Maybe doing it there in East Tennessee somewhere. So I hope they're able to, and of course, they want everybody to come, and have a good time. So, and I'm not sure if Mr. Mark or Larry's going to do a beast meetup greet this year or not. They were talking about it at one time. And I know Lori and them, and Janelle and them probably be at Falk and around Halloween this year, I think. And I'm not sure if Jonathan Odom is going to have an outing or not. I hadn't talked to Jonathan in a while, so I don't know what his thinking is. I have thought about me and Rebecca putting on one. ourselves, but I don't want to interfere with other people's either. So, but we'll see. We'll get a little closer. Uh, there's another place in Talladega National Forest I would love to go do a meet and greet at. I know it has activity. Um, it's a smaller campground than the Hollins Hunters Camp, but it has activity there. Um, so, and I've got some pretty good, reliable information from that area too. So, there's some. I need to go out there and just sit one night and see if I hear anything, or go leave a recorder all night and go back and retrieve it and see if anything goes on. But so, you know, if any of these meet and greets, when they start popping up, y'all try to make sure you make it if you can. I
Janelle
know.
said she's going to do Maryland mid-October.
Do what now?
Janelle's going to Maryland mid-October.
Maryland? Wow. That's pretty good. Well, I hope you.
Miss Bama BF. Hi.
We were talking about you earlier. I'm
Yeah.
glad you popped in for a minute. So,
School's out, so the granddaughter's keeping them busy. No boogering.
no booger. You just be careful. That's what I was telling everybody. You get a few pictures of dog men. You be careful with them things. Please be careful with. Be careful with both things, but especially them dog men things. But I was telling everybody, come check your channel out that you catch some pretty good photographs. So, but you be careful down there and walk around with them things in there.
All right, wrap her up.
All right, anybody, we're gonna get off here. Y'all, I done said everybody we support, so I'm not gonna go through that again. Y'all subscribe, comment, hit that notification button, hit that like button, share. Y'all love one another, get along, don't be judgmental, be kind to each other. You know, and hopefully next week we'll have a video back out. May try to call tomorrow and see if I can get one of these dudes set up to finally talk. So maybe I can catch up with one of them. So, appreciate everybody coming on tonight, and do your research on everything. Do your research on everything. If somebody said, I'm not saying somebody telling you a field, please don't think that, but do your research. Read into things. Read the Bible and really read it and catch what it's saying. When you hear things, read into it, read about it, or go listen to somebody and see where they're referring from it from. There's a lot of deception going on, lots of deception. And anyway, I'm gonna shut my mouth now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Love y'all.
Apparently, I can't use this mouse.